And I lived in Manila for 3 years because my dad moved over there. And there are a lot of homosexuals there. A lot, a lot. So I had friends who were them. And they are sweet. They're very nice. And I mean, we would go out and, the whole works. And I basically never had anything against them. And now that I've become more religious, and I've come to understand that Islam says that we can't. The way I view that is that I have absolutely nothing against them because I cannot do that to them because they used to be I had a few gay friends, namely, well, a few. And, you know, all I can do is, I believe it's in the extent of your belief because there are a lot of things that I questioned initially in Islam as well, and I did not have any answers. That's why I was never religious. Now I believe that when you come to a height of faith, when you are so strong in whatever you believe in, like I believe in Allah, and sometimes I believe not every single thing may sound right. He knows best, and that's where I put the value. And sometimes it's hurtful to say that to a person. So the way I see it is that I just ask that person to look deep within themselves and find out who they truly are. If they're Christian, if they're Buddhist, Muslims, anything, and maybe that's what they are. Maybe that's what they were supposed to be, and that's totally fine. That's what I would tell them. If somebody forcefully enforces religion upon someone, nobody will believe. The only way you can curtail that is just respect them and say, this is what you believe, fine. I mean, my belief is separate, but that's just me. But everybody has their own belief and their own way of believing. So I think that's where I draw the line. Just tell believe in what you want to believe. Because you can never enforce anyone to believe in a certain thing. So that's pretty much how I go. Yeah. Do you need the mic? 'Cause-
I want to add to this girl. I was very religious Muslim before. Then I used to be very religious, and my imam always told me, if we kill one Jew, mean it's jihad fisabilillah. When, and that time, also my brother, I stole the book of my brother about Exodus, about that I found out later on is a Torah, and then I wrote it all, and then when I first stepped in Hong Kong, and then I found it that do I kill two Jews? I have a lot of Jews in Hong Kong. And then now I read it more and more, then I started love to Judaism. But my family was very religious and and even me, I was very religious and Muslim before. And I learned nothing from my imam. But after I started to learn about Judaism with Rabbi Lee Diamond, then I start change my life. I start believe what I believe, and I start change everything in my mind and my life. I start love my family. Thank you.
I think what we always encourage is we follow the teaching, not the teacher. Important is when you follow a religion, follow the teaching of the teacher, because the teacher is human. Teachers make mistakes. Teachers can hijack whatever you believe in, whatever your religion is, for their own purposes. And I think no greater crimes have been committed in this world than in the name of religion. And so we always encourage, go back to the original teaching, go back to your scriptures, because if we compare notes between the imam, the rabbi, the reverend, who unfortunately couldn't be here tonight, and our Buddhist scriptures, the message is essentially the same. The message is be a good human being, do what you can in society, respect your neighbors, love your neighbors, help the poor, and encourage each other. So I think religion is there for us to become better humans, rather than using religion as an excuse to, split the world in different fragments.
Can I ask a question? Just a silly one. I think just one thing I might have
You just want to sum it up because maybe some people need to go, and then whoever wants to stay can stay. So if some of you feel the need to go, that's fine. Otherwise, we can continue. Okay.
I just one second, but just see what we do. everyone have to have a religion? I just want to ask one thing.
No, it's not a one. Not, yeah.
I just want to raise this question and see what's the discussion come out.
Yeah. And they have banned from
Well, my question is, does everyone has to have a religion?
That's something that I wish I could have asked when Rabbi Diamond.
Yeah, so I'm just asking this.
They both seem to be leaving space for people who don't want to follow a religion. And I hope I was mistaken, because I think what they were saying was one religious person should honour and respect another religious person, and I felt I don't think religious people should put themselves above people who are not religious. I don't think there's a need to follow anybody's text. And that's something I feel quite strongly, that I don't. I'm not suggesting that there's anything wrong with following a text. I think everybody has every right to follow whatever text they like, or to choose not to follow the text at all.
But even that in itself is a choice you're making. So that in itself.
Oh, very
your
conscious
religion
choice.
is not having
A very
religion.
conscious
It's a
choice.
very
My father was
conscious
brought
choice.
up as an Orthodox Jew, and he decided it's wrong, and he's now a loudly outspoken atheist, and he believes that religion is the base of evil on our earth. And that's why I was brought up as an atheist, and I now have arguments with my father because he's disappointed that I'm not preaching atheism to my children, because I believe that what I preach is a moral stance, and I preach it by saying it's my belief, and I hope they love me and respect me enough to follow my belief, but they may not, and that I believe is their choice. And Dad says, no, you don't want them to make that wrong choice.
But I think to extent you are actually following a religion, because I think we've all got confused, because a religion is not or religion is actually a belief, and what people have made religion is to just an organisation which sets rules that you follow on.
But I'm not seeking an answer.
But you don't need to. But you've got
But
beliefs.
you know,
You've
a
got
lot
a
of
belief.
a lot of people have said you have to know where you are and how you fit in the world. I don't, and I don't feel the need for that.
Every religion, basically. I mean, this is what we believe, is that you're taking, the Buddhism, some point is really good, Christian, some point are very good, and whatever
But
that
that's me,
religion,
then, is
I
like-
don't understand, but some
That's
is
not
good.
very-
So then I like it, then I'm
Yeah.
doing my, sort of my own way of living
But
that I
then that to
believe
me
in.
is like the kids in kindergarten, where you've got lots of different types of Play-Doh, and you throw them all together because they're all absolutely great, and come out with a dirty, yucky colour, because there's no strength there, there's no colour
So you
there.
believe that is a dirty, yucky.
I think if you mix a bit of this and a bit of that,
But it
you
can
can
be
get
all-
it.
I don't believe. I
Bring up
don't
the
believe that
limit.
religion can be
They can
atheist.
bring up
I
all
don't
the
believe
limit.
that. You know why? You know why? In the Ten Commandments and the Torah, you can be a good person without religion. And Muslim, if you kill one Jew, so you will have 1,000. You will have 1,000 good. And then if in the Talmud,
But that's what one particular imam has said.
yeah.
I think perhaps there are an awful lot of Muslims who do not believe.
Yeah, and also,
Can I interrupt really quickly? Sorry, I know your belief is quite strong, but I was exactly like you initially in my life. Because people were telling me believe this, believe that, and it was really because they couldn't give me the answers I wanted, and that's why there was a time I was telling her I was going into Christianity, pointing it out, Hinduism, Buddhism, and also the Torah, and then finally, my personal conclusion, I came back to Islam because of what I saw. It was such diversity compared to what I was told as a kid. Honestly, even from my own family members, they said, do this, do that, because that's what was put into them traditionally. So culture has such a mixture. I've met Muslims who don't even sound, they have all these ideas, and I was like, no, that's not Islam, because it's how, end of the day, the two of us read the same book, we'll come to two different conclusions. They're not wrong. They're just two different ways of, seeing it. So basically, sometimes, we shouldn't always